His Excellency Vince Anderson, Ambassador, Permanent Representative of the Commonwealth of Dominica, the United Nations, and the Chair of the SEEDSDOC Steering Committee, Mr. Mike Spears, the representative from the Danish government, the representative from the Japanese government, Mr. David Shepard, the Director General of SPREP, Mr. Osby and Mr. Payton, representative of the United Nations Development Program, Mr. Shivraj, Director, Economic and Governance Division of the Forum Secretariat, development partners, country representatives from the region, representative from the World Bank, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Gula Vinaka, and we welcome you all to Fiji. It is my great honor to be present here today and to welcome you all to this important SEEDSDOC meeting in Nadi. I hope you have all had an enjoyable trip. For those of you, our regional and international brothers and sisters, and that you are all refreshed and ready to fully commit yourselves to this 3 days meeting. This 3-day meeting is of utmost importance, and it provides a platform for all of us to finalize the institutional development of the Small Island Development States SEEDS Sustainable Energy Initiatives. I wish to thank the SEEDSDOC Secretariat and all the important players that have contributed to make the SEEDSDOC what it is today. Ladies and gentlemen, energy in recent times has been elevated as a basic human need, and it is often said that it makes the world go round. Without energy, everything virtually would come to a standstill, and it is of vital ingredients of economic growth and social human development. The provision of energy supplies not only affects the economy at large, but the very foundation of our existence. It affects our homes, our schools, and even our freedom of movement. Today, it is also a commodity that we cannot live without. The fact is, energy has become one of the most defining issues of this century. Fiji, like any other country in the region, has a common characteristics of high dependency on carbon-based fuels. Fiji's petroleum imports, as you are aware, has moved around $400 million in 2004 to a little over $1.2 billion in 2008, and that equates to a quarter of our total imports. The alarming fact is that the cost of our energy consumption has tripled in that period of 4 years. The unprecedented increase in the price of oil in recent years has propelled our inflation level to record highs. Unfortunately, the situation has been exacerbated by the continual global economic crisis. With our dependence on important petroleum products, our vulnerability to worldwide price fluctuation of this commodity is inevitable. It is apparent that our circumstances is no longer confined or classified as an energy security situation, but rather it has become an imminent threat to the security of our economy, our livelihood, and our sovereignty as independent states. With the current levels of energy demand and the uncertainty of future global oil prices, our shift towards sustainable energy supply is essential, and we need to advance this with urgency. Locally, I believe we have done a few right things through the Fiji Electricity Authority, and in 2012, we commissioned the 40 megawatts Nandaribatu hydropower project. The total project cost was around $150 million US. Our renewable generation mix on average now stands at 60% of the grid demand. The FEA aims to have 90% of its generation from the renewable source by 2015. a target that government is fully supportive of. A number of other projects such as weir racing and existing dams are also being undertaken to ensure the continued growth in the renewable sector. We are on the verge of providing 100% access to electricity to our people. We are working on improving fuel access for our rural population through our biofuel projects. We are moving with respect to introducing alternative fuels into our transport sector. We have elevated energy efficiency and conservation in the various sectors of the economy and linked it to productivity. Entities have embraced this important concept and implemented these initiatives on their own volition. We are carrying out the relevant research on our renewable energy resources available locally, and we also in the process of reviewing our energy policy. All the above work is good, and I believe we may even share the same stories. However, we need more urgency in the work that we are doing. With the target that we have set for ourselves, we believe we cannot do it alone. We need partners. We need to establish or create an environment that will attract the private sector. We need to embark on public-private partnership to assist us in reaching our goals. We need to consolidate our efforts in the transport sector, which is widely known as the sector that consumes the most petroleum imports in our islands. Energy, as we all know, has been at the forefront of all global talks and meetings and affects the lives of all individuals. Small island states rely heavily on important fuels. For any crisis, be it major or minor, small island states are sure to face the full brunt of its impacts. In 2012, for example, in excess of $1.3 billion was spent on fuel imports by the Pacific. It has been noted that Pacific Island countries spend 10% of their gross domestic product on petroleum fuel imports. In a recent publication on the IRENA policy brief, it mentioned that Pacific Island countries share similar sustainable development challenges, which include remoteness, susceptibility to natural disaster, small population, small market, and excessive dependence on international trade. In addition, the unique combination of inaccessibility and relatively small population exposes the region to the enduring challenge that arise from the lack of economies of scale, high transportation and communication costs, expensive public administration and infrastructure, and the lack of skilled human capital. During our deliberation in these 3 days, let us come up with ways in which we can overcome the above-mentioned challenges. We have done the right thing through the formation and membership of SEEDS-DOC. Having a united voice is important. However, it is not enough. I also need to remind us that there has been a lot of meetings and forums in discussing these issues before. There are numerous programs and arrangements that have been put in place. Let us make our SEEDS-DOC a different entity, an entity that will truly be able to safeguard our livelihood and the future of our people. Let us transform lives, economies, and our planet through sustainable energy supplies. Without it, there can be no sustainable development. Sustainable energy provides new opportunities for growth during the economic downturn. It enables businesses to grow, generate jobs, and create new markets. Millions more children can study after dark. Our countries can grow more resilient and overcome the challenges highlighted above. With sustainable energy, countries can leapfrog over the limits of the energy system of the past and build the clean energy economies of the future. With the important role that the SEEDS-DOC plays, I would like to urge each and every one of us to make use of this 3-day opportunity to strengthen our SEEDS-DOC. Ladies and gentlemen, let me reiterate once again how important it is for us to address issues surrounding energy in our own small island developing states and challenge us to transition the energy sector to renewable energy and high energy efficiency. With these few words, I wish you all with a 3-day deliberation. May the good Lord, our God, be with you in the next 3 days to guide you in your deliberation. God bless you all in your individual countries. Please enjoy the sun and spend more time in Fiji. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. And we look forward to continue working with your government in moving SIDSDOC forward.